pathogens have been invading Earth since the very dawn of time. Humanity's only defense, its one chance of survival, lies in the mysterious phenomena known as immunity. But who can unlock this power? Who can wield immunity to save us from this invisible enemy? Ilya Mechnikov, Jules Bordet, Sir Frank McFarlane Burnett, Peter Medawar, Paul Ulrich. Ilya Ilyich Mechnikov was born in Russia in 1845. As a young child, he was greatly interested in botany and geology. Continuing his interest, Mechnikov attended multiple universities, studying the natural sciences and marine fauna. It was at the University of Gießen in 1865, however, where Mechnikov found that intercellular digestion was a widespread phenomenon that occurred not only in planarians, but also in other metazoans. Intracellular digestion is a form of digestion in which food is taken into cells. This observation that Mechnikov made significantly influenced his later discoveries. His findings came to a halt in 1873, however, when his wife, Lyudmila Feodorovich, died of tuberculosis. Mechnikov was so heartbroken by her death that he attempted to commit suicide by taking a large dose of opium. Fortunately, his suicidal attempt failed. 2 years later, Mechnikov remarried and moved to Messina, where he worked on comparative embryology in a private laboratory. He eventually discovered the phenomena of phagocytosis, which is essentially when a foreign particle is engulfed by a biological cell to form a food vacuole. Phagocytosis is a major mechanism in the immune system due to its use in removing pathogens and cell debris, such as bacteria, dead tissue cells, and small minerals. Mechnikov was able to make this discovery by observing mobile cells in the larvae of starfishes. He initially hypothesized that the mobile cells would serve as part of the immune system. So to test his idea, he introduced small thorns from a tangerine tree into the cells. He found the next morning that the thorns were surrounded by the mobile cells and therefore came to the conclusion that leukocytes take up and digest bacteria that invade the body. His findings on phagocytosis earned him a joint Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1908 with Paul Ulrich. Another hero in the mission to discover the secrets of immunity was Jules Bordet, who was not only an incredible physician, but also a bacteriologist and immunologist. He was born in Belgium on July 13, 1870. He was educated in Brussels and graduated as a Doctor of Medicine in 1892. In 1894, he went to Paris to work at the Pasteur Institute. In 1901, he returned to Belgium and founded the Pasteur Institute of Brussels. He was the director of the Belgian Institute since its inception and a professor of bacteriology at the University of Brussels since 1907. Soon, he met a wonderful lady and fell in love with her. Her name was Marthe Levaux, and they were married in 1899. Soon, they had a little boy which they named Paul. Paul followed in his father's footsteps and became the chief of the Pasteur Institute in Brussels and also a professor of bacteriology. Marthe and Jules also had 2 beautiful girls. Meanwhile, Bordet was hard at work. He was on the path of discovery, the kind of discovery that could help humankind all the world over. In 1895, he made an incredible discovery. He found the 2 components of blood serum that contribute to bacteriolosis, the rupture of a bacteria's cell membrane. One component is found in all humans and animals and is called complement, although it was formerly known as alloxin. The other component is an antibody which is only present in animals already immune to the bacteria. This incredible duo tackles invading bacteria and holds them down so the macrophages can come and eat them. Working with Octave Genoiu, his brother-in-law, he developed the complement fixation test, which was a diagnostic test used to locate infectious agents in the blood, should any exist. These tests were used to detect pathogens that cause typhoid fever, tuberculosis, and syphilis. He and Genoiu also discovered the bacteria that is currently known to cause whooping cough. Jules Bordet received the Nobel Prize in 1919 for his work with immunity. He died on April 6, 1961. But the fight to discover the secrets of immunity continues. Since the advent of modern science, medicine has attempted to protect humanity from the ravages of accident and ailment. This is an effort to supplement the body's own natural defenses to illness. The body attacks foreign substances to protect against virus, bacteria, and other microbial agents. Unfortunately, this same mechanism will indiscriminately combat the efforts of modern medicine. The question is, why does the body attack harmful as well as benign substances? Two men, Sir Brian Burnett and Peter Medawar, discovered the fundamental mechanisms of immunity are responsible for this reaction. The men discovered that the body can distinguish between self cells and foreign cells. Furthermore, they learned that the recognition of cells as self is not inherent, but rather is developed during the first weeks of life. Any substance in the body during this period will be recognized as self for the remainder of a person's life. These substances will not be attacked by the immune system. They gain what Burnett and Medawar termed immunological tolerance. Any substances not imprinted in the immune system's memory at that time will be attacked by the body in the future. Burnett, originally a virologist, proposed the first theories of the body being able to discriminate against its own and foreign cells. Medawar, on the other hand, originally began research in this area by studying skin grafts, why skin taken from the patient would transfer but skin from a donor would be rejected. Through studying skin grafts on cows, Medawar learned that the grafts would be accepted if taken from a genetically identical twin, indicating that the DNA of a cell likely played a role in immune recognition. Sir Frank Macfarlane Burnett was the first Australian to win the Nobel Prize. He was a leading virologist. He contributed greatly to the study of viruses such as influenza. He pioneered the understanding of the mutation rate, anatomy, and prevention of viruses. Burnett was born in Australia in 1899. He studied medicine at the University of Melbourne, and among his many honors, he was knighted in 1951. He married and had 3 children. Burnett died in 1985. Peter Brian Medawar was born in 1915 in Brazil. He first studied in Marlborough College in England before completing his zoological degree at Oxford. After receiving his degree, Medawar worked for a time at Oxford School of Pathology, where he began his path to studying immunity. Medawar married and had 4 children. He died in 1987. Thanks to the noble pursuit of these 5 men, evil will not prevail.